The Morning Dump from Hurrdat Sports with Andrew Rogers and Damon Benning.
Where we go for all things coffee and cream that we can't get to on the show. It's Morning Dump alongside Damon Benning, Andrew Rogers. Did I introduce you today on the show? I don't even think I said alongside Damon Benning one time.
No, that's okay.
Normally I have my routines, though, and when I said that, I'm like, that's the first time I've said that
There's
today.
a lot going on early.
There was.
Who knows on a Monday show?
Where we're headed.
It's a crapshoot.
We say we are. If we were traveling from here to Lincoln, we would stop in Ashland.
Probably.
We would.
Around a Bend Steakhouse?
Yeah, we
I
would.
still haven't been there. It's like a staple. And every time I want it. So one time, this was just last year, on a humbug on the way back from doing a broadcast. So 2 years ago, because I was doing, this was BTN. And I thought it was going to be early enough. It was an 11 o'clock game. Got there at like 4. Oh, no. People still standing outside. I'm like, am I ever going to get these gizzards?
You know, I wonder if they use No Wait.
I don't know.
That app.
But it's kind of tucked back.
In.
It's right off the exit. I think it's 426. Not that I stopped there a couple times.
Trying.
Dude, I have.
That's like you trying to track down that apple fritter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I will drive. Like, some things like this. Plus, I'm by myself, so if I'm wasting time, it's just my own. Right? Like, I don't feel like
that's fair.
Somebody else is on a goose chase. And, I mean, that's – everybody keeps telling me I have to go there and get the gizzards. But I'm going to get a steak, too, by the way.
Please.
So my palate has grown a little. I used to be just team ribeye.
And now you'll eat whatever, like shoulder, sirloin.
We're going too far.
Okay.
I'm not eating sirloin unless I put it in a sous vide. I will now eat a fillet, or the kind of the cap.
Or as Gordon Ramsay says, a fillet.
A fillet. And I will dabble. I would eat a strip.
New York strip can be really good.
Now, if you gave me that's interesting. Michigan State.
You know what? I was going to bring him up that we need to talk about him tomorrow.
Well, let me talk to him first.
Yeah,
and then I'll
exactly.
As Michigan State. I almost want to get that, but we're working.
We can start over.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not about me. It's about my kid, right? Like,
but I'm kind of like, maybe we should have just taken it live.
Hey, you're on live. Is that cool?
Yeah. Hey, DJ, what's going on?
You know what he would say? Didn't you used to cover me? Yes, I did. We did broadcasts, and
right
now it's the other way around. But anyway, so I would eat like if you said, "Hey, I made T-bones," I'm not gonna say I'm not eating that. I'm just saying, like, if I had to pay for it and I'm gonna buy it, like those.
You ever had a shoulder steak? Those are a little tougher.
They are, but see, here's the deal, man. I will take on any cap. I will take on almost any. I will take on.
You're such a high school kid.
I'm around them too much.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm a grown up. You know what Coach Wilhite would say to me? You're too old to be using that word. Sorry, Coach Wilhite. I will take on almost any cut of meat now with a sous vide because I can vacuum seal it. I can give it the warm bath. I can season it. I can get it tender. Then I can just sear it. So I can transform bad cuts of meat.
Yeah, there are some bad steaks out there.
So I'm at the very end. I told you I'm getting the new block or new chunk of meat from the meat block company. So I'm at like the very end. Like you can actually see the shelves in my freezer. Mm-hmm. I have a rump roast in there. And it looks fantastic, but I don't know what cut the rump is really.
Okay.
I mean, I know where it came from. I just don't know the quality. But it doesn't. It has a little marble. I'm not sure on the whole connective tissue thing. But it looks like a pretty chunk of beef. But I imagine it's probably not very good. It's probably a crock pot meat or something, but I don't know. But I have very few things left in there.
I feel like I had a flank steak. I had to look at the
flank
photo.
Is fantastic.
I feel like I had that out of nowhere one time because it was on sale.
People sleep
feel
on
like a
people
penguin.
sleep on flank steak. Flank steak is great.
It is good.
So flank, skirt, the tri-tip, things that were never thought of as like good cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just did that picture I showed you that we did for fajitas. That was a flank.
Isn't that more tender than
Well,
some?
I got it to be tender, but you have to cut across the grain, otherwise it's chewy. This is that's flank.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. That's really good stuff.
So, and if you're watching us at home, that's what I showed him. That's a flank steak.
Are these cuts a little bit better nowadays because of the ways that they're being cooked?
Look at what it looked like before I trimmed it.
That's crazy.
So this was pre-trim,
And then
that was this was the transformation. How about that? See how I'm learning how to use the camera?
Right.
Man down.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a great cut of meat.
No,
And that's out of the marinade too.
I can tell because
Of the color.
Yeah,
And you see the little drip.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And they're hot.
you got that drip, huh?
You're such a high schooler.
Hey, happy birthday to this person. Let's play 20 questions, DB. Figure out who I'm talking about. He is in sports. Okay? So you get 20 questions. He's a sports figure.
Okay.
And I told you he's a he, so that probably helps.
Does he
narrow it
utilize a
down.
microphone?
No.
Does he play one of the four major sports?
Yes.
Will you tell me the sport?
Yes.
Does that count as a question? I should have wasted that. What sport does he play?
Baseball.
That's 4 questions already. Are you keeping track?
Yep.
Is he American?
No.
No.
Thanks.
Is he currently still playing?
No.
How many is that? 7?
6, I believe.
Okay.
It's flickering. Just got to stay on.
It is. It is. It's going upstairs.
What team did he used to play for?
Oh, come on. I don't know if that's is that a good 20 questions question, Shaner?
Nobody can do that.
Is that allowed? Like, what team did he play for?
What
like,
division? What division did he play in? Primarily,
No,
if
I
there's
feel
more
like
than
you
one
have to
team.
ask, like, did he play in the?
Okay. Did he play in the? Gosh, I'm going to go through all my questions.
This will help.
Did he play in the NL West?
No.
Did he play in the National League?
Yes. Because isn't 20 questions yes or no? I think that's what it is.
Did he play in the NL East?
No.
Okay, so not the NL West. So I'm thinking. So he's either a Brave, a Philly.
No, he did not. He did not
A
play.
Met?
He did not play in the NL East.
Oh, so I'm thinking Central. Okay, and it's you, so it has to be St. Louis. Is he an infielder?
Yes.
Ozzie Smith.
No. How many guesses you get? Like 5 total?
Yeah.
You're at 10 questions. Question 11.
A non-pitcher.
Yes.
He's not playing anymore. He has to be good.
Infielder, outfielder?
He's an infielder.
He's an infielder.
Yadier Molina.
No. That's 2 guesses.
Tony Pena.
Nope, that's 3 guesses. You still have 9 questions. You can narrow this down.
Is he a position infielder?
Yes.
Got to be popular.
What's that, 12?
And I only have 2 more guesses. 2 or 3?
You have 2 more guesses. I gave you 5 names. But you still have 8 questions.
We'll just see where
is
it
he at
goes.
first baseman?
Yes.
Mark McGuire.
No. Yeah. He's not American.
Oh, that's right.
We needed to do something.
It's not somebody good. He's deceased, and he's American. That's Ted Williams. Did he do it? I only have one more guess.
Yeah.
Muffins.
It's a gunner!
Unless you want to use a question on a guess, I will allow.
Albert Pujols!
He's still playing.
No, he's not.
Pujols retired?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Pujols.
I was
See,
like, where are you
I
going?
would have said Pujols, but
Right. That's why I was
I
like,
didn't know he retired after
Oh, yeah.
that heck of a run last year.
yeah,
Did I miss that announcement?
He's done. Him and Yachty are both done together.
Oh.
Remember, because he was going around all the fields getting
and as Shane
memorabilia.
knows, because we've talked about
And
this.
you're a Dodgers guy, so I wanted to give us a nice
he was,
connection.
and he was good for us.
He was good against you too.
Yeah. Well, nobody saw those home runs that he was going to hit with you guys. How good was that though on
Awesome.
the farewell tour? Mm-hmm. Puglos. So how old do you really think Albert is?
Albert Pujols!
What? I mean,
He's age 43 on Wikipedia, which means he's probably closer to 48. 49.
If I would have known, that would have been probably my after Ozzie Smith.
Yeah, it would have been him.
So you know Ozzie Smith is in my Fave 5 baseball players of all time.
No way.
Yeah, he trails Ken Griffey.
Is it because he could do a backflip and you couldn't?
It was because I grew up a shortstop, and I was little.
Also,
You know,
I feel like your Ozzie Smith is most people's Derek Jeter. Like kids my age, Derek Jeter.
really. Mm-hmm. And so many people hate on Jeter too, so that's weird.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like a good way to put it because Ozzie was, the 80s?
Yeah.
And then Derek was the late 90s.
I remember
early
the trade for
2000s.
Gary Templeton.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And
I
Templeton-
knew you would have said him, but I was like, there's no way his mind's blanking right now.
I didn't think he was retired.
And then Shaner goes, Albert Pujols, and you're like, he hasn't retired. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to keep going.
you go, yes, he has. That's great.
So I ruined it by playing that drop.
yeah,
You did.
You ruined
You
it.
did. You suck.
The proverbial ruining of the dump. That's what Shane
He's
does.
done it again!
Jose Albert Pujols Alcantara is a Dominican-American former professional baseball first baseman and designated hitter.
I can't even believe I didn't
Played
know that he
22
retired.
seasons.
But you know what I'm equally as bad at? Dead or alive. So that's fine.
Very true.
But you said you're not very good at that either.
Nope. We could play Dead or Alive right now, and I would get 40%. Maybe less.
Yeah, listen, guess who's not going to make fun of you? Me.
Oh, Shane? Shane? No.
I mean, I've had some crazy whiffs. Like,
Happy birthday, Albert Pujols, by the way.
happy birthday.
Right there!
And so, how come you didn't stop me, or was this off air the other day when I said only a handful of first ballot Hall of Famers? And I said Pujols of guys that were currently playing.
No, we did, because remember you said Yachty, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't say Yachty. I
feel like we did.
I said Cabrera, Pujols, Kershaw.
Oh, you did say Verlander.
And you,
okay.
Verlander. And I don't even
Did
know
you
if
say
Verlander's.
Pujols?
I don't even know if
Did
Verlander's.
you really say Pujols?
Yeah. I don't even know if Verlander's.
A first ballot?
Yeah. Because his postseasons are so bad.
Yeah, they
we
are.
were debating over Scherzer. And Scherzer still needs another year or two,
I mean,
probably.
he's better in the postseason.
Yeah. And I think I'm missing one.
I don't know. I guess I just
Mike Trout.
overlooked it. I must have just overlooked it.
Mike Trout's done enough for the Hall of Fame, right?
You would hope, but he's got no postseason to back him up.
Yeah.
He's got one postseason.
Yeah, which is okay. It's better than
He's still a special talent. Like, you're not going to find a better.
because what we make the cutoff 10 years. We made it double digits.
Yeah. 10. I think we said 10.
Yeah.
I don't remember you saying that, but if I'm probably wrong. You're
But
probably
we
wrong.
were just that was about something else. So I don't think you would have thought to say, well, he's not playing. I mean, we're just naming
first ballot Hall
First
of Famers,
ballot Hall
so
of
that's
Famers.
probably
Yeah.
where my head went.
Yeah.
But I think we ended up saying Yachty, but maybe we said this year or like this coming
yeah, we
year.
did say Yachty. But I don't think Yachty's first ballot though. So I don't think he was in that discussion.
Really? You don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No. I'd love to be wrong.
Really?
Let's Google.
Dude's the best catcher to play the game.
Well, he's clutch too. No. I mean, there's still Johnny Bench.
Okay, but different era.
Um,
Defensively, you're
is
not going to find a
Is
better catcher
Yachty
than
Molina
him.
first ballot?
And offensively, he actually got more productive as his career went on.
Is Yadier Molina's Hall of Fame case is perplexing, but here's why the catchers. So we're still talking about whether he's getting in or not.
Stop it.
He's not first. I'm telling you, he's not first ballot. There's no way. He may not even get in. I mean, he's going to get in.
He's getting in.
But he's not first ballot. No way.
I mean, I'm a homer.
We talked about it. First ballot is brutal.
It is. But Yachty? Who's another Yachty?
Lil Yachty.
Thanks. Different spelling.
I am
Different spelling.
I am a child.
You are a high school kid.
It's Yakty, right?
Yeah, it's like the boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or in this case, a ship.
So, yeah, he's not first ballot. There are a ton of articles. Weird. St. Louis Today. Here's Deadspin. That one's Yahoo. Sporting News. Yadier Molina's. This one was the most recent. Yadier Molina's Hall of Fame case is polarizing for those who've competed with him.
277 all-time hitter.
Good for a catcher.
Really good for a catcher.
Although, that's coming around.
Yeah, their hitting's getting a lot better, but you're not going to match his defensive ability.
Why?
Nobody's going to match that. The amount of putouts that guy has.
On the Bill James Hall of Fame monitor on Molina's baseball reference page, Molina scores 169 points on a scale, on a 130 scale, which is a virtual cinch to make the Hall. However, the same page credits Yachty with a career WAR of 42.3 and a JAWS of 35.5, just 22nd best among all catchers in MLB history.
10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champ,
Here we
9-time
go.
Gold Glove Award winner, Silver Slugger winner in 2013. That's Yadier Molina. 2,000 hits.
But we can agree, though, he's not first ballot. Just say it with me out loud. He's not first ballot.
I'm not doing it until it's said.
Thank you, Ken.
I'm not doing it until it's said.
Sorry.
Is Kershaw first ballot? That's how hard it is.
There's just so many. Okay, so the reason I say Yachty, right? How many catchers?
I love when Cardinal fan goes down the Yachty Molina trail.
How many catchers, just by position, were able to do what he did in regards to
longevity,
putouts, offensive ability late in his career, the accolades?
I mean,
that come
just
with
the
it.
years spent doing it alone, he's in rare company.
So that's more of what I look at than more, hey, he's a Cardinal, he's a first ballot. Whereas when I come to a pitcher, like pitchers can go deep. Now, Kershaw's a special talent. Nobody can take that away from him. How many World Series does that guy have?
One. Yeah.
So with what he was able to do with that Dodgers group in his entire career too, staying healthy as a pitcher is very hard.
Yeah, but he should have more.
It's difficult.
He should have more. Listen to me. No one winning's hard. It seems like they should have more World Series wins.
They should, because you can pay for them.
That's not, again.
9-time All-Star, NL MVP.
Misnomer. 85% of that roster was with either drafted or farm talent.
But you can pay for it in baseball.
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
we can supplement with free agency, but
you look at the Phillies last year; they paid to get into the playoffs, or to make a World Series run.
Typically doesn't.
But he's a
work that way.
3-time Cy Young winner, NL Cy Young winner.
Yeah,
like that. Winning that award 3 times.
I just think first ballot in baseball.
It's harder to be a first ballot pitcher than I think it is to be a catcher.
It's brutal.
Like Derek Jeter was a first ballot Hall of Famer at shortstop, but because he did incredible things in his career.
Yeah.
He was light years ahead of others.
And
I don't know, man.
People disagree with that.
I don't know.
So get this. You ready? This
Yeah.
is where you surefire put Yachty.
Mm-hmm.
Among the tens of thousands of players, managers, owners, executives, and other personnel that have made their marks on baseball, only a select 340 are enshrined in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Including 268 former Major League players. And among that elite group, 58 players have been granted an even more selective honor, being named to the Hall of Fame during their first year of eligibility.
Was Ivan
Major League
Rodriguez
Baseball.
a first ballot?
No.
Then Yachty won't be. That'll answer my question right there.
Yeah.
If Ivan Rodriguez wasn't, because he was a longevity guy too.
And Pudge was silly. Boy, Pudge was silly.
So I'll shut down my own case just based off of that knowledge.
And I didn't want to laugh you off our own
But
show.
you can't even laugh me off of that case because there were so many things that he did that others couldn't do. And it's because it's such a small sample size. Like if we were talking about a right fielder, I'd say, all right, well, this is a brutal conversation because anybody can be a great right fielder.
Yeah. And I don't love Jaws. I don't even love WAR so much. But I get it as a barometer. I do. I do get it as a. I mean, it's a lot more of a quantifier than let's say plus minus or some other stats that I don't love. RPI, which why people still use that, I don't know. Although some sports it's better than others RPI, but.
Can you believe we're already a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting?
No, but I actually love it.
I love it too. I can't wait for baseball to start back up.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm so pro baseball. So pro baseball.
That's good because that'll fit. Now we're gonna have to gauge our listening audience.
Yeah. Well, and
hey, why are you guys always talking baseball?
Hey, fill me in.
Come on.
What do people like to hear in Nebraska? Do they like to hear about the Royals because of the Storm Chasers and that whole thing? Do they like to hear about the Rockies because we're close? The Cubs, the Cardinals?
It's Cubs,
the
Cardinals, Twins. Not so much the Rockies, although I have two very good. Well, I have two good friends that are Rockies fans.
I'm sorry.
There's probably more, and they're just not admitting it.
It also
I think regional, right, Shane?
It also depends upon if there's a Nebraska player on one of the teams.
Right, and that's a good point. Because I think who was it? There's a pitcher at Nebraska that got invited.
Kate Povich.
Yeah, from the Orioles, right?
Big Kate Povich guy.
And so, following those stories is great, but because you grow up in a town that doesn't have a team, I feel like people are all over the place. They gravitate to the Yankees. They gravitate to the teams in Cali.
Shane's so right on that. We had Tony Watson on just a year ago. And Tony Watson hasn't been pitching, but former Husker, local guy. Didn't we just talk to Tony Watson a year ago?
People gravitate towards those stories.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, and everybody likes to hear the kid that came out of their backyard.
I'd talk to Kyle Kubat tomorrow if we could. I'm a big Kyle Kubat guy. Gutsy Husker. His dad is a great sports fanatic. So there is some of that too.
So it's just a nice spread.
Yeah,
all around.
By the way, I was talking about Jake Myers the other day. I didn't realize that they've had a child already. So I think he's only been married 2 years. Just had a kiddo. I should just ask his dad because his dad's a pretty good friend. But wow, he's getting. Jake Myers can't be but 25. How old's Jake?
Doesn't shock me anymore. People having kids that
I thought it was going just the opposite. I thought you guys wanted to wait because you wanted to keep all your money.
Well, I do. But I'll tell you what, Ashley would pop them out tomorrow if she could.
Careful. I'm trying to tell you. Well, 1996.
You're older than me.
Just a pup. Yeah.
So what is that, 26 now?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to him being healthy. A healthy Jake Myers, even though he's with that organization. I just think they're going to be. Oh, I just think
that organization.
I just think they're always going to be good. Remember we were talking about their arms off air with your kitty and those guys. It's just now we'll see what happens post that horse at the front end. But and what are the Mets getting? And how much money do the Mets have? How much money do the Mets have?
You can throw money all
as much as the Padres
around.
I'll be glad when that rule of three or that third year comes into play and the Padres are still paying a luxury tax. You start losing some draft picks.
I watched – when did I go to spring training? Was that 19, so it would have been 2 years before Myers got there. But I got to watch like Kyle Tucker in spring training and
Sweet swinging lefty.
a lot of the other young guys. Kyle Tucker's a great player.
Did he have his haircut?
Yes.
He's got those free-flowing locks.
Yes.
He gets it in, though.
Kyle Tucker's a beast.
He's a good athlete.
He's a beast. Stood me up for an autograph. Stood me up.
Really?
Never forgave him.
What do you mean? Like, did you have a standing date, or he just walked past you?
Yep, standing date.
Were you like, hey, I'll meet you in the right field foul pole when you guys are done taking BP?
Yeah, I called him out. He came over and talked to me.
But wouldn't sign? Mm-hmm. I don't know. We may have to talk about that.
Maybe it's because I was standing next to his mom. He's probably like, I don't really want to talk to you. I want to talk to my mom.
Hey, speaking of Kyle's, how about Kyle Korver with an assistant GM role in the NBA? Did you hear that? You're like, the NBA, Kyle Korver. But, Shane, did that happen fast for Kyle Korver? As like an exec?
He's had a sneaky, great career. I mean, just
Kyle
outstanding.
Korver is a NBA 2K build a team's dream.
Yeah.
Because all you do is pass the ball up, and you're like, Kyle can shoot the three.
Yeah, like
Kyle's got us.
just finalizing an assistant general manager deal.
No way.
With the Hawks.
How old is he? Like 80?
I'm going to guess. Don't tell me. I'm going to guess.
Dead or alive?
Korver is.
I'm going to guess. I'll guess too.
Okay. You guess after him. Because you're good with ages. I want you to wait.
Korver is 37.
What do you got, Shaner?
No, he's older. He's 43.
41. 1981. Kyle Korver.
How'd Shane get closer?
Played basketball for none other
And that's
than your team in town that you love and adore, the Creighton Blue Jays.
I don't. Shane, is that still a debate, the Korver-McDermott discussion? Because it's clearly McDermott is the better Blue Jay.
Who was the –
Although I would like to see them in a three-point shooting contest.
Now they have their distinctive own houses, as in they played in two different places, so you could look at it that way.
It's very, very, very good.
would you draft
MVC versus Big East.
Would you draft Kyle Korver or J.J. Redick if you were building a team for a three-point shooter
And their prime?
in their prime?
I'd take Korver.
Isn't that crazy? They're like the same player.
Yeah, but I remember, coincidentally, since it's all about the Lakers, he's a free agent 2 years ago, and the Lakers were putting their team together, and I wanted them to get a shooter. Korver was the guy that I wanted them to talk out of retirement. And
They could've done it.
And
They could've
J.J.
done it.
Redick balked at a Lakers deal. I think they were only going to offer him like $7 or $8 million a year.
Oh, that's it? Darn.
Well,
I know
he's in studio making it.
I know the NBA and studio analysts make a ton.
That's
but
crazy though. But that's I wanted
mil.
them.
Can
I
you
wanted
imagine?
them to sign Korver.
I know you got to put in a lot of work. I really do. But you only play 82 games for $7-8 million. Sign me up.
Really? We're baseball fans, right? You see what middle relievers are making?
Yeah.
That's the number that they're making.
Okay, but NBA is out the wazoo because there's such limited spots.
Whatever,
right?
And
because
they're, and they're both guaranteed.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, there are so many relief pitchers that have to struggle through the minor leagues at,
I don't know.
league minimum.
They get
$200,000, whatever it is.
Yeah.
When you look at the NBA contracts, it's like, if I had the opportunity to take that, I would take that over a baseball contract any day.
I once cheered for a team that had a guy that pitched once in 3 years, and he was a middle relief back-end guy, and Darren Dreifert. That was a Dodger, and he was making like $11 million. I'm not kidding you. It was exorbitant. And that's back when we had guys. We were paying for Andre Ethier. We had a bunch of corner outfielders, and it's like
Andre Ethier. Oof.
Yeah.
Adrian Gonzalez.
Oh yeah. But I was a
Doing
big
some good
I was a big Gonzalez guy. I was a big Gonzalez guy.
You guys had Manny.
Yeah. Those were like 1 or 2 year stints getting guys on the back end.
I know.
Dreifert was – so they were on the hook for Dreifert, Kevin Brown. They had a lot of guys that were supposed to take the bump that weren't healthy all that much that they were paying quite a bit of money to.
That's what the Raiders do. They get one or two
Here we
guys.
go.
Back to the Raiders.
Yep, they get one or
Let's
two guys
go.
on the back end there, always on the downside of their career. I mean, you might as well get Tom Brady right now on the downside of his career.
Hey,
Let's get out of here on this one.
The Raiders have made they've done it my entire lifetime.
Shane, let's get out of here on this one. Of the hypotheticals, because how many people do we have rumored going to Vegas right now? 3 quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Potentially? Who do you want to take snaps in Las Vegas next year?
I want it to be a draft pick, but go ahead.
So no Rogers, no Brady.
Sam Darnold.
I don't want either one of those first two. I don't want Sam Darnold either.
So you have a hard time cheering for guys that aren't your guy, though.
I don't mind. If they become – I'm used to it now because the Raiders pick up so many guys here and there for like 1 or 2 or 3 years that they just become my guys, So I would rather it be a young quarterback that they get. I would rather they just draft it.
So why don't you draft a quarterback, which you can do, and still take on Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Why not?
There'd be so animosity and much.
Dude, you're going to be on the hook for almost $50 million.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm all in.
They can't even pay.
Rehook up Adams and Rodgers. We're good.
They can't even. They'd have to redo that deal. They can't even pay their coach to
Green
leave.
Bay would pay a lot of that contract. If they were really going to get rid of Aaron Rodgers and somebody was going to take on that contract,
right,
a deal would be worked out.
Do you think Hackett has called Rodgers yet? hey, I'm gonna need a job. Can we reunited?
You got me.
We good?
I would take it because I've come to the realization that my team, the Las Vegas Raiders, will never be a Patriot-like team where they win a lot of Super Bowls. They have to go into it and just
Nobody's
do
gonna
it
be a
1 year,
Patriot-like team.
1 year out of 10 or whatever, 10 or 20.
Shane,
I've realized that over the last 30 years that there's going to be if they win the Super Bowl in my lifetime, again, it'll be just one time.
Shane, I'm cheering for you.
I'm cheering for you too.
I think the NFL would be fantastic with the Raiders being good. It would. I think it'd be a great story.
Tomorrow, I want to get to more of
We're
the
going to be all right.
C.J. Stroud stuff because we will know by the end of today what he's doing.
Yeah.
So without trying to predict anything, you'd have to think he's going to the draft. You would have to think so. But if he does somehow
I have seen Stranger Things.
Right? If you do see something pretty crazy, we'll definitely talk about that more tomorrow. I want to talk about other players in the Big Ten outside of your usual juggernauts. So we'll talk more about that. And, of course, we'll probably lead with the Dallas Cowboys and
Tampa Bay Buccaneers
as they play Monday Night Football.
Shane, call your shot.
Who do you like?
It's going to be Dallas.
Dallas. Who
Drew
do you
down.
like? I'm going to take the underdog in this game. I'm going to take Tom Brady.
What's the current line is sitting at
Is it still
2.5?
Yeah.
You're taking.
I'll take the dogs. Give me Tom Brady.
You're taking Dallas.
home.
I will take the
And
Dallas Cowboys.
This is what's going to happen. Dallas is going to be up all game, but it's not going to be by much.
Here we go.
It's not going to be by much. And all of a sudden, the 2-minute warning's going to hit, and Dallas is going to have the chance to put the game away with a rush. Zeke won't get it. They'll punt. Tom Brady leads a game-winning drive.
24-21 Cowboys.
It will be separated by about that score.
How about them Cowboys? And watch Dak Prescott engineer the winning drive. Wouldn't that be everybody out on Dakota Rain? People down on McCarthy.
Silence.
I can tell you exactly what's not going to happen with tonight's game.
What would the ratings be for that one?
Through the roof.
Brady, America's team, a great broadcast combo, ESPN.
Who's on the broadcast? Kevin Kugler?
TV broadcast. It's Buck and Aikman.
Is it? Kevin Kugler?
I can tell you exactly what is not going to happen with this game tonight.
What's that?
There'll be no missing a extra point at the end of the game.
He's still on that
for
national
73
championship.
points.
My man wants
Because they're
his
not
breakfast.
getting 73 points.
My man wants his breakfast.
He's a Raiders fan.
Yeah, he'd know about missed extra points. You need to
No,
sign.
I know more about missed extra points and missed field goals than he
Oh
does.
yeah.
It's a sore subject all on this side of the table.
Dude, you guys were having auditions for kickers. Mm-hmm. I remember that stretch.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Pinheiro.
Like open calls? Like just anybody off the
basically.
It was like, hey, Cody Parkey, he practices hitting uprights. He practiced hitting poles. That's how he practiced. So you don't think that was going to translate over to the game? That, even though I'm not looking for the goalpost, because he's accurate, don't get me wrong, he just likes to kick it at the post.
How to get Andrew fired up. Talk Yadi Molina and the St. Louis Cardinals, or kicking
or Cody
and
Parkey.
the Chicago Bears.
I cried because
I feel for you.
Of that timeout call. I cried because he kicked the field goal, and I'm like, we're missing. We're not beating the Eagles now. Doug Peterson, he is one of the best coaches, and he ruined my dreams.
Yeah.
You seem very hurt right now.
That just shows you how difficult that league is. Doug Peterson actually got fired once.
Which is mind-blowing.
Like everything else,
Oh, man. Follow DB on Twitter at Damon Benning, myself at Andrew Rogers TV. You can follow Morning Dump at Hurrdat Sports. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. That's Apple, that's Spotify. Same thing for the show. But let's run through your options once again. Tomorrow you can find us 590 ESPN Omaha, 1480 ESPN Lincoln. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitter. If you missed the show, head to Hail Varsity Radio's podcast page, and you can click any of the segments that we covered on Coffee and Cream, and then there is a one full-length show, which is about an hour and 57 minutes of content. That's one of the best, though. So head that direction. You can follow the show at HVarsity Radio. I think I said at Hurrdat Sports for Morning Dump, but if I didn't, I'll reiterate it now. Tomorrow, like I said, lots still to cover. We'll talk about C.J. Stroud, players in the Big Ten, Monday Night Football, more on the Huskers. Just a lot going on, and we appreciate you joining us every single day. We'll see you tomorrow.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.